Hi, hi, hi. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Gosh, seeing some comments already in the chat here. Someone, Grand Sophia said, please do a call in the session. Sometimes talking is better. A call in session. Sometimes talking is better than typing. Thanks for all you do. Maybe that's something I should consider in the future. But first, I see there are four more people coming on live. Let's just wait for a few more people to come on the live before we get started with this. What I'm sure is going to be an amazing Q&A session. If you guys have any questions already, like, hi, Dami J, saying hey there. Hi, thank you for joining the live. Like, could you guys let me know, like, give me an intro. You guys already know who I am a little bit, right? Some of you. Where are you guys tuning in from? Like, let me know. I'd love to know. Are you guys in Europe, in Lagos, in London? Where? Oh, hi. I see Faith there saying hi. How are you doing, Faith? Good to see you. I do know Faith. Um, Grand Sophia say from the USA. Thank you. It's a bit as in Sundays, 2 p.m. I don't know if you're Eastern or Western time. It's actually thank you for tuning in. Like you're giving up your a bit of your Sunday for me. Thank you. Dami J is tuning in from the UK. My people, my people. Good to have you here, Dami J. Chico DK. I feel like you're like one of my loyal people, on my Instagram page. Thank you for tuning in. Faith is tuning in from Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos, the most amazing city in the world, I think. Yes. Ebeno from Canada. Canada. Thank you. Like these like on every front of I guess the I guess the world, or I guess where I actually get most of my viewership from, it's the UK, it's Nigeria, and it's Canada. So it's really lovely to see everyone coming from there. Chris M says, "Me, hi, me, love watching from London." Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate that. Grant Sophia she said, my state is 1 p.m. We're on our way to the Mall of America. Amazing, nice. Shopping, shopping. I love it. Valerie is my person. Valerie's from Switzerland. I love it. Love it. Thank you for tuning in from Switzerland. Casey, you guys, I said I feel the love because it's been I've not done an Instagram or not Instagram or YouTube live in probably 4 years. So this is really like, I was like, who's gonna turn up? So I'm so happy you guys are turning up. Thank you, Casey. Session Afolanyo. Hope I got that right properly. Hi from Ilorin. Ilorin, Ilorin. I love it. I love it. As in, we are from everywhere today. Thank you for tuning in. Grant Sophia said, yep, I have some coupons from Victoria's Secret. Gotta use it. Girl, use it before they expire. So I get it completely. So I feel like a few of us are already on the live now, so I can get started. So most of you guys know me, but in case you don't and you're watching this later, my name is Funke. I'm a Nigerian British travel and lifestyle content creator. Typically create content on, flight reviews, travel tips, basically anything I feel that will be of value, right? That's what I give. So sometimes you guys see me doing different things and you wonder, which bucket does Funke fill in? It's because anything I feel is of value, whether that's information, just anything, that is what I give you guys on my platform. I would also say, you guys, please give this video, this live stream, a thumbs up. By doing so, it allows other people to like YouTube to notify other people that we're here. So give it a thumbs up there, thumbs up there. And just to quickly state that the main aim of this session is it's to ask Sassy anything, right? Any questions you have, whether it's travel, life, career, anything, like I am here to just connect to you guys a lot. So I want to connect. I feel like I don't do that enough. I'm always disseminating, giving you, throwing information and not, I guess, connecting with you. So this is what it's about. I'm hoping to do this more frequently, maybe twice a month, even more, depends on if there is, we want this, depending on the feedback. Yes, thank you for the likes. I see that there. And yes, I asked a number of people on Instagram to actually share questions, which I'll be answering. But I would love for you guys, as we're navigating and talking and chatting, to also drop your questions in the chat. Like drop it in the chat. I will definitely get to it at some point in this live. The plan is for this live to last approximately 45 to 1 hour. If we have a lot to talk about, of course. If not, we finish early, which is not also bad. But yes, Stephen Bianchi said you're very beautiful. Thank you very much for the compliment. Very sweet of you. So I think we should get started, right? So if you have questions, drop it in there. But I'm going to be reading off some questions on my phone that some of you guys sent me. Yes. Danny underscore Lubina dropped a question. He said to me, what is key to making it in finance as an international student in the US? Right. And you guys might think, oh, Funke's travel. Why are we talking about finance? And I get a sense that this person knows that I have a background in finance. Like, if you're not aware, I do travel content, but prior to this world, I was working for an investment bank. Give you a bit of context. I went to university, King's College in London, uni. And after graduating, I worked for one of the top investment banks in London and New York. So I'm just seeing some of the questions coming up. So I have a huge background in finance. And this person is asking, like, what are my thoughts with regard to them succeeding in finance? I actually put some notes together so I can actually answer this very, to the point and not like rabble on. I think first thing I learned when I was in university was the importance of networking very early, and also securing internships. Like in your second year, I don't know how it is in the US, the year before you graduate, try and get an internship or whatnot. That's how I did it. In my second year, I got an internship with JP Morgan. And because of that internship, I was secured a full-time position with them. So that was amazing. Um, Grand Sophia, I'm going to just jump into the chat to answer one of the questions that you guys have. Said, okay, my question will be, why are Nigerians defrauding other Nigerians with this NIN registration thing? In Minnesota, they are scamming big time. As in, I'd love to hear a little bit more. What is happening in Minnesota? What exactly is happening with regard to, like, what is the scam? I want to know what the scam is, Dammy J. Like, if you could drop what that is in there, like, it'll be really great. Also, that was Grand Sophia sending that question in. So I'll follow up on that question once you let me know what is the scam of NIN registration, right? Okay, the person, that's why I suggested a call in the matter. It's a very long. If you want to dive, as in perhaps if you can share more insights, I can talk about it. But I think when it comes to people defrauding people, I think it's not even a Nigerian thing. I think if we're all aware, there are terrible people everywhere in the world, right? Not just Nigerians, as in people always looking for ways to extract value. And that's why it's really important to try and get your information from sources that are verified, or find out from other people that have done NIN registrations before. How did they do theirs, right? Because a lot of this NIN registrations, it's private companies that are actually that are giving these services, and they need to be paid, right? So if they're taking your money, Grant Sophia said that they take money and they don't give the service, then that's an issue, right? So I would suggest just speaking to other people that have done the NIN registration and follow the path that they've done it successfully. Like, that's my advice with regard to that. I feel like Nigeria is our community is such one whereby we go by referrals a lot. So I think you should apply that to everything Nigerian. Like, you want to get a carpenter. I've used that carpenter before, even though you can't even trust that. But I feel like referral is the way to avoid being scammed, even though that is not even promised, to be honest. Yes. Let me see. You guys keep dropping your questions in there. Okay, Dammy J asks, my question, can I get my tourist visa without going to the Nigerian High Commission or embassy? So I guess you're asking for to get a Nigerian tourist visa. Can you do it without going to an embassy or high commission? I know there are companies that that can help you with the process whereby you don't have to physically go. I believe there are companies that do that. It's something I'll research and maybe share on my platform, on my Instagram page during this week. So look out for that. But I believe there are ways you can do it without physically going there. Okay, Dami J. Okay, it's talking. Okay, actually, Dami J just shared some insights for Grand Sophia with regard to the NIN registration. She said there's a list from the Nigerian embassy where one can do the NIN registration, right? So I guess there's a verified list that one can do the registration right there. If you guys have any other insights, share. So let's go back to some of the questions that you guys had on Instagram that you guys dropped for me. Yes. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna go for this one. What are some of the, I guess, the travel tips you would give a first-time traveler if you're traveling for the first time? What are some of the travel tips that I would share? So I think first of all, if you're traveling for the first time, research. I think research. I think even though you've been traveling for the first time, with the way the world is constantly changing, rules are changing, whatnot, whether with transit visas or whatnot, I think it is important to do your research. Do not rely on random information online because it could be outdated, right? Visit verified sources online. Follow your girl, Sassy Funke. Yes, follow me because I try my best to be on top of things to verify the information I provide. So I think even with the information I provide, I think it's important to not only rely on me as I'm a great source, if I must say, but I think it's important to also verify online with verified, or websites. Is that the word? Verified websites? Yeah. So whatnot, like over like the source. Like go to the for example, the official US government site or the official UK government site or the official Nigerian government site, even though you know, I think I'm your official Nigerian government site. Yeah, so that is yes, so that is that with regard to that. Okay, so Grand Sophia made a comment and she said, I had paid with my Capital One card. This regard to the NIN, we're going back to. And when they started telling stories, I requested for my money back. Then someone else told me to go to this good NIN officer, unknown to me. It was the same people. Oh my. Sorry about that. Valerie just asked a question. She said, can you explain how a Schengen visa works? And just to confirm, the UK is in it or not, right? So the Schengen visa is actually, I think, a great visa to have because it gives you access to multiple countries compared to other visas. It gives you access to the countries within the Schengen. I don't know how many countries are in the Schengen, but I think it's over 20, or am I wrong? I can't remember off the top of my head. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section, in the chat. Let me know. But it gives you access. And you said to confirm, is the UK part, as in, can you visit essentially the UK with a Schengen visa or not? No, you cannot. You have to get an actual UK visa, right, to visit the UK. If you want to visit other Schengen states, you have to get a Schengen visa. So, for example, if you're a Nigerian passport holder and you have a UK visa and you want to go to France, you cannot go to France. You need to get a Schengen visa for France, right? And a Schengen visa, not just if you have a Schengen visa that was issued by the French embassy, you actually have access to other Schengen states. You can visit other Schengen states there. Yes, I really hope that answered your question, Valerie. The next question is coming from Chico DK. And the question is, if I arrive at Lagos MMA, that's International Airport, at night, what reputable transportation companies, for example, taxis, are available for me to use? This is actually a question I get a lot, right? With regard to, I think at the airport, the Lagos International Airport, they're actually official taxi drivers that are parked, they're allowed to park there that you can use. Have I used them before? Personally, no, I haven't, but they have like proper badges and whatnot that you can use. But I always suggest to people, especially if it's your first time in Nigeria, that it is important it is advisable to use someone that you know. I might think I don't know anybody. I actually have a personal contact of a driver that many of you guys reach out to me for a contact number. So if you email me at sassyfunke@gmail.com, if you want that person's number, someone I trust personally. And during the COVID pandemic, the person was helping people drive from Cotonou when you couldn't enter Nigeria. So it's someone I really, really trust. I can share that information with you. But to summarize the answer to your question, there are official taxi drivers and cars at the airport that you can use. I haven't used them before, but yeah, that's that. So Damiji just said, she just mentioned that there is a new system with Nigerian Immigration Service. I know it's all online, but I'm not too sure. I think it's with regard to the NIN, I believe she's speaking about. So Michelle also said, Uber or Bolt work, honestly. If you don't have a reliable person to pick you up, once you land, you can see many vehicles are about and you can open either app. Yes, actually, for people that are not aware, of course, Uber, Bolt, I think InDrive, few apps that actually, operates car services or like for transportation, and you can use them. You can use them. The reason why I and people fight me on this a lot is like they're like, oh, okay, why are you telling people not to use Uber? But I said, if it's your first time coming into Nigeria, especially if you're arriving at night, I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. As in, you can use it, but my preference is if you know somebody that knows somebody, you have a personal contact. That is, but again, Ubers and Bolt do work, so you can also use that, right? Yeah, so Dami J left a comment and she said UK is not part of the Schengen, as it's not part of the EU anymore. You will need a UK visa to visit or work in the UK. I think even prior, when the UK was part of, you still need a UK visa. You couldn't enter with a Schengen visa to the UK anyway. I think that's always how you always need a UK visa to enter and visit the UK. Michelle said, when I traveled to Accra and got back to Lagos at night, I used Uber and I got home fine. See, verified. Michelle has said it that it worked for her. And, just because I haven't used it doesn't mean it doesn't work or there's an issue with it. I just stated personal preferences. But I think I'm glad that Michelle brought that up to know that if you take it, an Uber from the airport to Nigeria, you're fine. So I think that's really good to know. Let me see. So, hi, Doorpath just joined the chat and left a comment or question. She said, I'm assuming it's a she, could be a he. My kid's Nigerian passport expired in 2020. Can they come to Nigeria with it in 2026? Renewing here in Canada is tough as the only embassy is Ottawa. If not possible, how much to get an e-visa on entry? So, with regard to getting, I think what I would advise, I think getting renewing might be tough because I was going to say you can renew with the new app process, but of course, if they're kids, you cannot use the app to do everything online so that you don't visit the embassy. Because in Canada right now, you actually can renew your Nigerian passport without actually stepping a foot at the Ottawa embassy, Nigerian embassy in Ottawa. But because they're kids, you would have to step in to do it. So e-visa is, I'm not sure how much the e-visa is right now, but you have to apply for the e-visa prior, right? Because Nigeria is scrapping or has nearly fully scrapped the whole visa on arrival or e-visa on arrival. You have to apply and pay for it prior to that. I have some content about it on my page with regard to getting an e-visa. But if you DM me, maybe after, I can definitely share with you the link to access that. But I think also with regard to your expired Nigerian passport, something else you should consider is getting what's it called? An emergency travel certificate. Typically, these are issued the same day. Like they issue the same day, and it's just a document that you take alongside your passport, and you can, fly to Nigeria with it with no hassle from any airline or whatnot. And the other option is flying. They could go on an expired passport. They could travel to Nigeria with their expired passport and then come to Nigeria and renew the passport. But the issue with this is it depends on the airline. If the airline does not allow it, so ask the airline first, can I travel with my expired Nigerian passport, my kids expired Nigerian passport to Nigeria? Can they travel with their passport to Nigeria? And if they say yes, I would actually advise you to just travel to Nigeria with expired passport. But prior, set up a meeting, not a meeting, an appointment to renew the passport in Nigeria. And typically, honestly, in Nigeria, these things take like a week now, a week, 2 weeks max to get your new Nigerian passport. So the process is so much better. Like you book everything online, your dates, interview dates, it's seamless. It's not, it doesn't take you years to fill out the application form online to renew. So I think that is something, yeah, you should consider too if you want. So Josh0411 drop this question. Please, are you going to review the Air Peace new flight to Heathrow from Abuja one day? Because it's been a long time since you've done a flight review from Nigeria. Interestingly, yes, if you guys are not aware, Air Peace recently started the inaugural Abuja to London Heathrow flight. And a number of people actually DM'd me and asked me, to do this review. I will do it at some point. I have to just create the time and the schedule. But with regard to your other point, it's been a while since I've done a flight review from Nigeria. I actually have a flight review that is ready to like push out, and I'll push it out this week. It's a Virgin flight review. I haven't flown Virgin in years, so stay tuned for that one. I actually have two flight reviews that are coming up, so stay tuned. I know it's been a while, but it's coming. It's coming, and I have a few other flights scheduled for the next few weeks. So hopefully, I'll do a flight review for those ones too. So yes. Chico Dico said, thank you so much, Michelle and Sassy. Thank you, Chico, for your questions. Thank you for engaging. I really appreciate it. Michelle said, I hope you have a safe and fun trip. Oh, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to having a fantastic trip. I'm going somewhere I've never been actually shortly. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see who else left a question. Josh0411 said, also, I noticed that Emirates uses its old planes to Nigeria and is very irritating for its price and Africa as a whole. I think this is something that many of us can relate to, but it's also something I think a lot of the airlines some of the airlines have changed or have updated their aircraft. So for example, like, earlier on this year, if you guys are not aware, I flew Delta from Lagos to Atlanta. And it was still, I think it was an old aircraft, but I know they are Lagos to New York. JFK is a new aircraft. I think it's a A330 Neo. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But a lot of them are making very active investments in ensuring that they have new aircraft. And I think for me, the best way for Africans to tackle this issue is to stop flying those airlines. Like we speak with our money. If you keep paying to fly the airlines that are not upgrading their planes, they will not make change. It might be convenient because of your route to fly Emirates somewhere, right? Which is fair. But I think it's important to put your money where you think it deserves to go. It might take an extra 10 hours to get where you're going, but I think that's the only way, because customers, there's power in numbers. As Nigerians, there's so many of us that fly up and down. If a huge substantial amount of us say, you know what, we're not flying this airline again, if they don't upgrade their plane, they will upgrade it. It's as simple as that, because for them, it's a financial decision. It's not a sentimental, people shouting on Twitter, oh, I had this bad experience, like similar to the whole Royal Air Morocco thing. People complain a lot about it, but people are still flying it. And I get it because it's cheap. But if you keep putting your money behind, they are not going to change anything. So if you want change, it has to start with you. Choose where you put your money. Simple as. I think that's the only way for people to change. As in, we're not going to rely on government. Obviously, government has a part to play in ensuring that these companies do right by Africans as a whole. But we customers have a role to play too. And yeah, power in numbers, definitely. Josh0411 said, exactly, like BA, Delta, and Virgin, those airlines have repented. As in, let me tell you something, guys. I flew Virgin. I'm not sure if you guys watched an Instagram post that I put up I think 2 months ago in May. And I've not flown Virgin in years because I'm always like, these direct flights are so expensive. Let me just be doing, the Air Frances and whatnot. And I was blown away. As I was blown away by the experience on Virgin. And I was this Virgin economy because I like to keep my money to myself. I can't be spending all my money on flights. unless somebody wants to sponsor me, yeah, like I was have you guys flown? I actually want to know, have you guys flown Virgin recently? Because I was blown away. I was like, I said, this economy, are you sure? This is economy class on Virgin. This is the product that they're giving us. I should have known this since now. I would have reshuffled. Yes, yes. So BA Delta Virgin, honestly, like they have actually I've not from BA in a while, but I heard that they're doing better too. Um, Professor Prof G, I'm assuming it's Professor Prof G2 left a question and he said, please, what airline flies to Lagos Airport Terminal 2 from the UK? Many thanks. That fly to Terminal 2, that lands in Terminal 2. Well, I know the ones that land in Terminal 1, Virgin, Delta land in Terminal 2. But I believe all the others actually, I know they definitely take off from Terminal 1. Oh, no, sorry. Oh my God. You know what? I'm mixing things up. Terminal 1, Delta and Virgin are the only ones actually operating from the two major ones that fly through, I guess, to the UK. Oh gosh. No, you know what, guys, I'm mixing this up. Yeah, let me just please, what airline flies to Lagos Airport Terminal 2 from the UK? The only direct airlines that are flying from the UK, obviously, is Air Peace, Delta. Is it Delta? No, not Virgin. Virgin definitely lands in Terminal 1. I flew them recently back. So that's the old terminal. Air Peace, you land in Terminal 2. So I hope that helps, just to clarify. Kingsley Ogiria, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I didn't mean to, right? Left a lovely comment. Keep the good job going. I like your information. Thank you so much. Like, honestly, whenever you guys give me all this feedback, even on my like Instagram, like, oh, good job, or DMs, even if I don't respond, it literally lifts like my spirits. Because for me, that is one of the metrics I count as success, right? If I feel like you guys are benefiting from my content, I'm always like, oh, there's value. Because I'm a value-driven person. Like, yes, obviously, you obviously want to make money too. But for me, if what I'm providing to you is of value, I'm already 80% happy. Like 80%, I've already achieved what I want, right? Um, Let me see a comment here. Cassandra Adebolu left a comment. Hi, Cassandra. She said, hi, Sassy. The e-visa app is asking for parental consent for my 16-year-old daughter, and I'm a single mom. What do I upload? So I did asking for, as in, I think just attempt to just upload your consent as one of the parents and see see if they accept that. Otherwise, you might have to ask your, I guess your ex or partner or ex, I guess, to assuming to provide like a letter for the exact format of the letter. If you go online and you check parental consent Nigerian passports, say Nigerian passports, there's a template on there that I'm sure you can download. And I think also if you check on the website, the Nigerian embassy's website, there are actually documents you can download that shows you the format already that you can just fill out. Adeyinka Ojedokun. I hope I got that right. Again, I apologize if I got it wrong. You wrote Turkish. Okay, Turkish. What do you mean about Turkish? Like the airline, the planes? Like, let me know. I don't understand what you mean by that. Just expand on that a little bit for me. Josh041 said also Delta announced a new lounge in Lagos Airport and is replacing their A330s with A350s on the London ATL route in October. That is true. Like I got that information straight from the source too. I actually passed by the Delta lounge in Lagos National Airport when I was traveling, I think on the 1st of July. 1st of July when I was traveling out of Nigeria. I saw them actually opening it up, and I spoke to the Delta people. I was like, "This is incredible," and they informed me also about this them replacing their A350, their A330s with the A350s, which I think is phenomenal. I love when airlines are at the forefront of just being better, like providing better products to customers. Like, because it's true, if you provide better products to people, people will fly your airlines. It's that simple. So I think it's really smart that they're taking the initiative to have a new lounge and to upgrade their fleets. Like, I love it. Like, kudos Delta. Love it, love it, love it. Um, Dami J left a question. She said, "Is Terminal One the old terminal at Lagos Airport?" Yes. Just to clarify, Terminal 1 is the old terminal and Terminal 2 is the new terminal. Josh0411 said, "It's just BA and Airpiece that fly direct to the UK from Terminal 2." Yes, you're right. Because actually, at the moment, I actually think it's only Airpiece, not Airpiece, sorry. It's only Delta and Virgin are the only two major airlines that are actually flying out of Terminal 1, right? All the other airlines in general actually from Terminal 2. So yes, you're right. BA and Airpiece fly from Terminal 2, the new terminal. Michelle left a comment and said, "Terminal 1 is making small renovations so far. You no longer have to walk down to get to your car. You can walk out of the ramp where your ride can pick you." Yes. Like I landed a couple of, I think 2 weeks or so ago. Oh yes, I'm currently in Nigeria at the moment. So I landed in Lagos, and for a while now, I love that you don't have to that experience of coming out of Lagos at the airport and walking a mile to a car park. It was horrendous. So right now, once you get out of the terminal, you literally walk out and you can get to where a car can pick you up at the front of the terminal, which is incredible. So that has been really, really good. And oh, I should let me plug in, guys. If you guys are not aware, I have a Lagos Airport handbook that is just a guide to navigating Lagos Airport better. So even all this question about which airline is based on at which terminal, check it out in my description for this live, and there's a 50% off it. Click on it, get it, support your girl. A lot of really good information on there, so definitely check it out. And if you're new here, guys, let me know where you're tuning in from. Give it a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. The more thumbs up you give, the more YouTube recommends this, the platform to other people that were here and that they should join us. So please give it a like. Give it a like if you haven't liked it. There are about 24 of us here at this 25. You should be liking. Cassandra Adebolu left a comment. "Thank you so much. You're amazing." No, thank you. Thank you for being a part of my journey here. Like, I love it. Mr. E says, "Yo, okay, yo, how you doing? What's happening?" Dorpat left a comment. "Is Aero Contractor still in use? I need a connecting flight from Lagos to Asaba, and their peace options are not convenient." Aero Contract, I'm not sure. I have not flown locally in Nigeria in honestly decades, but in a long time. So I believe, like, if you just even Google it, you'll see if they come up at all. So check that out. Michelle left a comment. "How do you guys deal with Delta's relay of delays?" Oh, but delays, really? I didn't experience like delays with them. So I don't, are they popular for delays? You guys let me know in the comments. Michelle also said, "We left Lagos with Delta and we used Terminal 2, but the staff at the entrance there, oh my lord." Yes, oh yes. Actually, yes, Delta is operating from Terminal 2. I think for some of their flights, I don't know, like some of their flights, perhaps. Yeah, actually, no. Delta is operating, it's Virgin, because they have this code sharing thing. So I always like mix them up. Delta is operating from Terminal 2, but you still have to walk by the walkway once you've checked in all the way to connect to Terminal 1 to actually take the flight out. Josh0411 said, "Sassy, have you heard of Riyadh Air?" Riyadh, I've heard of it. Never flown them. Are they flying to Nigeria? I'm not sure. Like, let me know. Do they fly to Nigeria? Do they fly to Nigeria? I don't, but I've heard of them before. Mr. E has left a comment. Have you started travel groups to Nigeria yet? This is something that many people have asked for that I've considered over the years. And I just felt I didn't have the capacity to do it yet. But if there's a lot of interest in it, and maybe that's something I'll put out on my other platforms to ask people if there's something they'll be interested in. And it's definitely something I'll consider. Definitely I'll consider. I actually have a huge question for you guys coming. Like I have something I'm trying to do on my channel that I think might be really refreshing and different. Just to not changing the channel, but adding something else to it. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But I'll take a few more questions before I do that, or just a few more comments here. Um, Professor G said, Miss Sassy, many thanks for your kind replies. You're welcome. Kawakalku Idowu said, hi, Sassy. At Kakadu Idowu. Salam, well done. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Josh0411 said they're new. They haven't started. That's for I think the Riyadh hair. They haven't started flights, but if you search on Google, you understand. Okay. I'll understand. Okay, I'll check them out. Definitely true. Michelle said, that's very true. I think because my mom was using a wheelchair, we use a different route, but it's not until now I realized that it's the same gate. Yes, it's the same gate. You go through Terminal 2, but you still go back to Terminal 1 to take the flights. That's just, yeah. And I think guys, like, what are your thoughts? I believe earlier this week, it was announced, the Minister of Aviation announced that they're going to be doing a complete like pull down of the Terminal 1, Lagos International Airport, Murtala Mohammed International Airport, and they're going to be rebuilding, everything. Like, what are your thoughts on that, guys? Do you think it's a great idea? I've forgotten how much it was, but it was a lot of money they're going to be spending on it. But for me, for one, I'm happy that they were actually very transparent with how much they plan to spend on these projects. I feel like in Nigeria, we need transparency in general, just so people know that, where are taxpayers' money? Where's the money going? So I think that is a fantastic thing they're doing. But let me know your thoughts around that. Do you think them upgrading the new airport right now is a good idea? Like, let me know. Like, leave a comment below. Oh yes, Chico Diko said it's 712 billion naira. And I don't even know if that is a lot of money, to be honest, because anything billion in naira, Miss Blanc, okay, is it really that much, right? If you're looking at quality, as in, I've not built airports before, but I know building airports is not cheap, right? So if they're looking for something that's going to last us like, I don't know, 300 years, 400 years, maybe it's worth it. If it's going to have a lot of like tech, I've not built airports again, so I don't know what is expensive, what is cheap. I think the good comparison would be to check, for example, like countries like Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, right? And check when they refurbish their own airport, how much did it cost, right? That's would be interesting. So, quick question. I still have more questions here, but a question I want to put to you guys. I'm actually thinking of starting a podcast, right? One of the things I'm passionate about, you guys don't know, is like I have a finance background, is money. And I feel sometimes that I am not leveraging sort of my education and my skills to my audience. And I think it's something that'll be really interesting. And I'm thinking about bringing, interesting, my dad, right? Someone I respect so much, someone that is so knowledgeable. And we should have like a dad-daughter podcast thing that will also be, on the platform. Like, would that be of interest to you? Do you think that's something that people would, I guess, would see of value? Like, him sharing his experience, us having this like generational conversation around money, finance, and whatnot. Like, let me know. Do you think it's an interesting idea? Like, leave a comment in the comment section. The 24 of you guys now, like, what do you think of that idea? Do you think that's something that money, finance is something that you would love to see on my platform, or even having a separate brand for that? Like, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts around that. Let's see. You guys are still having a conversation about the airport. So let's talk about that. Adeyinka Ojedokun said, totally needed. That Terminal 1 is completely run down compared to other nations of the world. I think, yes. one of the feelings that I've always felt going through that airport was, how can a giant like Nigeria, like someone like us, like Nigeria, hey, people enter our country, that's what they see. Yes, so yes, it completely needs to be fixed. Josh0411 commented also, people used to complain about Airpeace notorious service on domestic flights and delays. Oh yeah, I think a lot of people just avoid Airpeace. I really hope they get better and do better. I'm sure there's a lot of factors to why they're delayed, but they should know better on how they can fix that. So yes. Oh yeah. So Samuel Ateba said definitely, and I assume you're commenting definitely with regard to the podcast idea that I said with regard maybe to my dad and myself. Okay, Dorpat said, yes, fantastic idea. Also, especially for Nigerians in diaspora trying to navigate investing in the UK. Luckily for us in North America, there's lots of content, but it's lacking solely for immigrants. Yes, I think there's, yeah, I think even from a perspective of, as in, I love content from the world, but I'm also like a believer in for us by us, right? Because we understand cultural nuances that and I feel like we hide information a lot as Africans, as Nigerians. We hide information, like people are successful, they don't share the truth about the reality, right? um yes, Mr. E said it's cool to see a podcast with you and your dad. Yes, I think even I would find it cool to see, right? And I was even a bit afraid of bringing it up on this live, like, but still, what, let me ask you guys before we start anything, like, is it actually worth doing? And also, what sort of topics would you be interested in hearing about? Like, I would love to also know that. And it's something you don't have to share now. If you want to, you can share, but you can also DM me. I think that would be good. Oh, I'm so happy you guys think having a podcast with my dad would be really cool. Like, he's incredible. It's someone I respect, someone that champions me daily, because your girl sometimes feels like, this thing I'm doing it, but he like pushes me, and I think he has such good advice that I feel like the world needs to know, and he has such an incredible background that even I am in awe of him, and I'm in awe of how he's just so open to helping people. Like, he doesn't gatekeep. He's open to telling people this is what it is, this is the reality. So I love that the feedback so far has been good. Thank you so much, Dopart, Samuel, and Mr. E for your support on that. I love that. Okay, Olayinka Ogun Biade said, "Good evening, Miss Funke. Hi there." He said some travel advice and assistance. He said, "My name is Mr. Oluwagbemisola Adelaja Molaja from Northwest England. Welcome. Please share what questions you have in the comments." We have approximately 15 or so minutes left on the live. So if you have questions, please drop them in the chat. So Josh0411 left a comment. So, do you have any opinions on Green Africa and Arik Air? Because I recently read a news article that they're talking about Arik Air having a very low amount of delays, missing luggages, and highest amount of flights operated in 2024 in Nigeria, despite them not having much aircraft in operation at the moment. So this is actually funny, right? Because one of my family members is flew today from Lagos to Abuja, and I was like, "Oh, which airline are you flying?" And they were like, "Oh, Arik." I'm like, "Oh, Arik." I said, "Why?" He said, "Ah, no, no, no." They said, "I love Arik." They said, "I love Arik. They don't delay like all these other airlines." I said, "How about the other major one?" They're like, we don't try that one, no." And true to form, when I called the person, like, "Are you boarding?" Arik Air was actually like on time. So I think it's known. I haven't flown them in a long time, but the consensus, I think publicly, especially for my family member who is very strict with airline choices, said Arika is good. So I think that's good. I think Green Africa, I've heard from good things about them. Never flown them either before. Um, and I think, but another thing I'll say is this, because I'm a numbers person, right? They don't have many. aircraft in operation. And maybe that's actually what helps them to stay on time, right? But all these bigger airlines that have more routes, more aircrafts and whatnot, managing that is a bit tougher, right? I think it's similarly to if you go to a small furniture company to build something versus a big one, right? The small one can be very attentive to detail, but the big one, if they don't have their structures in place and they don't have their the rows in like the ducks in a row, yes, ducks in a row, then it can, not be so great. So Okwe Alaka left a question. Do you have an idea of when it would be possible to apply from a Nigerian passport online in Canada? I believe it's already in operation, isn't it? Unless they had hiccups. Like I believe it's currently up because I've even seen a few content creators create videos about them renewing their Nigerian passport online in Canada. But I think you're saying to apply for a first passport. If it's a first passport, you cannot. So you have to actually um, go through the process in person before you can do it online, if that helps. If that helps. So, um, gosh, so a question that somebody left, actually, Stella Shanelli, one of my girls, left on YouTube. She said on Instagram, what has traveling taught you so far? Right. And I love this kind of sort of like philosophical question. Like, what has traveling taught you? So I've been traveling for so many years since I was a little child. And I think one thing traveling has taught me is that the world is so big and at the same time so small, right? So small. I mean, I was in London the other day and I was in Westfield and I was figuring out, trying to look at what's the machine to figure out where a particular store was at, right? And there was this man that worked at Westfield. It was a black gentleman and a white man. They were walking together, and he goes, "Oh, what? Like, how can I help you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm trying to find this store." And he was like, "Oh, no, 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 just go up here. It's there. It's there." And I said, "Oh, thank you." And he goes, "Oh, by the way, I follow you." I said, "Eh, you follow who?" I said, "Me? Who am I?" He said, "Sassy Funke, I follow you." And I'm like, wow, I feel like how big the world is, but how small that even people can even like at Lagos Airport every time. People was like, "Oh my God, Funke, 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 Sassy Funke, hi." I'm like, even when I go to the US, I was in Atlanta in January. Somebody randomly there knew me. The cab driver was like, "Oh, Sassy Funke, I know you." I was like, "How? How do you know me in Atlanta? How?" you know? But that's the beauty of the world, right? And yeah, so what has it taught me so far? It's big and yet so small. It's taught me that I don't know so much, right? And it's also taught me that, I don't know so much in the sense of there's so much to learn in the world, right? And sometimes we enter this world, we live in this world, and we think we know it all. We think our perspective is the right perspective, but it's because we are, our life is also limited. How we've been groomed since childhood to our experiences is it's just one of many experiences that people have. What else has it taught me so far? I think traveling, gosh, there's something on top of my head. I have to think about it. That's taught me is that actually, as much as we're also different, like different cultures, different beliefs, we're actually all seeking the same thing, right? And we're all seeking love, safety, and purpose. I feel like fundamentally, if you strip everything down, everyone across the world is seeking love, safety, and purpose. Like that is it, right? And I think we all showcase it in different ways and it manifests and it's, expressed in different ways. But if you boil it down, that is what we are all seeking, I think. Like if you agree or not, let me know in the chat section. I would love to hear. Love to hear, love to hear. So let me see some of the comments on here. Hi, Caramel Jasmine. She said, "Hey, girly." She said, "Didn't know you sometimes go live." Caramel, you know what? I don't. So this is my first time. I think I've only been live on my YouTube channel in I don't know. I mean, how many years? Twice, right? So this is actually the first time I've been live in like 3 or 4 years. So, but I'm going to make a schedule, a regular schedule. It will not be a one time occurrence, right? I love connecting with you guys. As in, it's sometimes it's a bit not annoying. It's a bit, it gets boring when I just feed content to you guys, and I actually want to interact and get to know, oh, what is working, what is not working. So yeah, so yes, I'm gonna be live more regularly. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you turn on your notifications. And actually, you have to go to, I think you have to go to your settings properly. Actually, make sure you turn it on properly. Otherwise, you might not get information that I've posted a video or I've gone live. Dorpats left a comment. Agreed. Traveling has taught me so much, especially when I immerse myself in the culture and learn the language. The world is truly beautiful. Asian countries and languages are my new obsession. Asian countries. Oh, you know what? There are so many different cultures in the world, and I think I think traveling is such a privilege to get the opportunity to actually to learn about other people's way of living and immerse yourself. As in learning languages, I want to do that. I speak a bit of French, oh, guys. Bonjour, je m'appelle Funke, but languages is something I really would love to maybe go to a random country and spend like 3 months there in a random village and just like learn the language and immerse myself. Like I would absolutely love to do that. And yes, I agree. Asian countries are absolutely stunning. Like I did my part of my MBA in Singapore. When I was there, I went to the Maldives, I went to Vietnam, I went to Indonesia. Really cool, interesting fact. About 30 of us from my school at the time, we booked a private island in Indonesia. And I remember we got to a private island. You guys, it's stunning. And there was like music from like people had left like CDs of like Nigerian artists that were there, which I thought was incredible. Like even in the middle of Indonesia, random island, the like Nigerian influence, was incredible. Um, yes. Let me see. Caramel said, thanks for all the info you put out for us. You're welcome. Thank you for, being as in it's because you guys want this information that I'm creating it, right? So thank you for also seeking it, right? Because I know it helps everybody when I create the content. Thank you. Love you guys too. Michelle said, how many countries have you been to? I don't even know. I know it's maybe 30s or 40s range. I don't even count anymore, right? But 30s or 40s range I've been. Dorpat left a comment, seeking knowledge on navigating life as well. My most recent experience learning meditation with Buddhist monks in Thailand was a surreal experience. That sounds incredible. Like incredible, incredible, incredible. Um, like those kind of experiences are things that I would love to do. I'd absolutely love to do it. And I'll consider it because I think just unique experiences that really tap into something deeper. So I could imagine yeah, like kudos to you for immersing yourself in that. That's amazing. Josh041 said, please, can you bring back the old NCS music in your flight reviews? Noted, noted, noted. Samuel Aliteba said, bonjour, Funke. Yeah, bonjour, bonjour. I was actually in France like 2 weeks ago, so I was putting my French to practice. I'm not sure I did well. I think they said I was speaking French to them. They started speaking English to me. That's when I realized that I was dead on arrival. Caramel Jasmine said, learned from your channel, I can travel to Nigeria on an expired passport. That info was very helpful. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Glad it was helpful. Lamar, hi Lamar, left a comment or question. I am currently in the USC and I have an expired Nigerian passport that expired in 2022. Can I travel back to Nigeria with that passport or do I have to renew it here in the US? Depending on the airline you're flying, I know if you're flying Delta, you can use that expired passport to travel. I have a contact in the airport. I have people that I know there that work there. And they actually said to me recently that somebody came with an expired passport that was expired in 2015. 2015! That was 10 years ago. So I think you're okay, right? You're okay. So they just told the person, please make sure you renew before you go back, otherwise there'll be problem. So that's what they said to that person. So you're fine. Your passport expired in 2022. As long as the airline said it's is okay, then you're fine. Dorpa just said, I just did Singapore this year. Such a beautiful little country. Hey, bonjour, Funke. French is one of the languages I speak well. Please keep up the amazing work. Oh, Singapore. I love how clean that country is. Amazing. Yes. Oh, you speak French very well. Yes, I need to get better. Kudos to you. And yes, thank you for the compliment about my amazing work. I appreciate it. Professor G says, Sassy, please, when are you coming to the UK next? Many thanks. I have family in the UK. I travel to the UK regularly. I was there for like a month. So I just got back. Obviously, I have family there. I have home at home there. So like maybe I'll let you guys know. Maybe we'll do a meet and greet at some point when I'm in the UK. So yes, I'll definitely be sharing a little bit more on these lives if I'm in the UK or whatnot. So Bolaji Adeyemi said, Hi, Funke. Thank you for the informative travel content. Will you be flying Lufthansa to Lagos next month on premium economy? How do you rate the premium economy class? I'm pretty sure I have a Lufthansa premium economy review on my channel that is recent, a few years ago, within the past few years. And I loved the premium economy offering on Lufthansa to Lagos. I really, really liked. I think it was a huge jump from economy to premium. You could definitely feel the premium experience. So I would recommend them, definitely. Oh, Lamar said that's crazy, but thank you. With regard to the 2015 expired, yeah, it is crazy. We Nigerians, if we ever bring a passport from 1990 something that expired. Olayinka Ogunbiadi said, please, can I DM you? I get so many DMs, right? So I would say, Olayinka, email me instead at sassyfunke@gmail.com. And in the subject of the email, just write live session. So I know you're coming for the live and I can prioritize your emails. Because typically it's a lot of emails I get and I cannot, I don't have capacity to respond to all my emails. So I apologize to people that have DM'd me in the past. And I'm like, Funke, you don't respond. Guys, like I don't have the capacity to be responding to everything. But the quickest way to always get a response from me, I will tell you the secret. If I post a video on my Instagram page and I post I post an Instagram post, I tend to always wait 30 minutes and engage with anyone that comments on my post in 30 minutes. So you get a response if you that's actually the sure way of getting your questions answered. Like comment on my post when I post them, like immediately I post them and you get a response. Kayode Issa, hi there, said, hi, can you talk about the e-visas? I'm taking my wife and kids since I live in Madeira Island, so I don't need to go to Lisbon for a visa. I'm going to be sharing a lot about e-visa this week, so I would say just stay tuned on my Instagram page because I have a lot of scheduled posts about e-visa that I'll be sharing. So let's see that. Like check my Instagram page on this week for that. Grand Sophia said, nice live. Have a great new week. We just arrived. Thanks for all you do. Enjoy your shopping. Great to have you. It was great to have you on the live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Olayinke Ogunbiade said, can I go to Nigeria with my Nigerian passport? Of course. What do you mean, can you go to Nigeria with Nigerian passport? Of course, you can track Nigeria with Nigerian passport. Like, maybe there's another context you want to give me while you're asking that question. Yeah, let me know. Bolaji Adeyemi says, muchas gracias, señorita Funke, for the info. You should visit Spain sometime. Interestingly, I'm off to Spain next week. So, but I'm going to, I strongly recommend Malaga, Cadiz, and Seville. I am going to Malaga actually. So that is, I'm going to Malaga. So I'm looking forward to that. Michelle says, going to Nigeria, you would use your Nigerian passport and going back, use your resident country's passport. So yes, I think Michelle is answering Olayinka's comments with regard to, how do you travel? Like when you're coming to Nigeria, you show your Nigerian passport, show that you have, I guess, entry, you have access, you have you have the right to enter Nigeria, right? And when you're leaving, you show your other passports or both. They might ask for both in Nigeria to show you're exiting, right? Grant Sophia said, thank you. Thank you so much. Um, Bolaji Ali, yes, say, wow, yes, Spain. I'm looking forward. I've never been to Malaga before. So I am so excited. I am like, I'm going for relaxation. You guys might not see any content though, but maybe you will. Let me see how I feel. I just want to enjoy because it's not for me. I love to travel and I don't also want to make travel about content. When I can, I'll create if it's of value. Otherwise, let me chill. Let me chill and rest. um, oh my goodness. Josh0411 said Green Africa airline ordered 10737 Max before the pandemic, but canceled it, which is crazy. I think they're trying to aim at a larger low cost carrier. Interesting to know. Okay, guys, it's already an hour. I'm going to give 10 more minutes before I, end this live. I'm going to try and see if I can answer a few more questions. Daniel Ogbagbaso said, hello, Funke. I'm sorry if you have answered this already. I want to ask how I can make it in finance out of college as an international student. I joined a few minutes ago. Actually, hi, Daniel. Your question was actually the first question that I answered, right? And, you just said out of college. So, I have a finance background, went to university at King's College in London, worked for investment banking in an investment bank for 6 years. I was working with JP Morgan in London and their New York office. And I think one of the things I said is you're out of college. I said prior that it's really important to try and maybe secure internships while you're in university. That's really powerful. Internships are experience is so powerful, right? But since you're out of college, I will still looking for all these big finance companies and try to see if you can get a plug-in to get an internship with them, right? I think that is your way in. And I think also I didn't mention this before. When you're applying to these companies, especially in the US, right? You're applying to them, your CV matters a lot, right? The CV matters from a perspective of has to be very action orientated, has to be very result driven. I was able to, in whatever I did, drive revenue by 40% to 50 million. I know the Americans love that and they eat that up, right? So I think it's really important to very result driven in how you communicate what you've done in the past and just be relentless in applying to as many as you can. I really hope that helps. I really hope that's helpful. Yeah. um Olayinka Ogumbiade. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I keep saying your name. Olayinka said, please, can you talk to Delta Airlines to change the luggage bag issue? Okay, the restriction bag issue. What do you mean? What is the restriction bag issue? Let me know because I flew Delta before. As in, what is the restriction? Tell me specifically what the issue is. I definitely have contacts at Delta I can speak to, but I'd love to know what the issue is because I wasn't aware there was an issue, but let me know. Bolaji said, nice, enjoyed the Costa del Sol. Recommend you visit Malaga capital, Tromenilos, Belan. Okay, no, I'm going to do like a screenshot of these, what you mentioned. Marbella. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. Bolaji said, thank you for the live session. You should do this more often. Enjoy your stay in Malaga. Buenas noches. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much, Bolaji, for tuning in and for being so engaged throughout the session. Absolutely love it. Daniel, you're welcome. Let me see. Josh041 said, Sassy, are you aware that Arika has 97879s ordered, but I don't think they will get them delivered until they're in a better financial situation. I would love for them to resume back international flights. That would be incredible. I feel like, we need more Nigerian airlines like on these international routes, right? I think we need a lot more of them. There. So I would love that too. So I wasn't aware of that. So thank you for sharing that, Josh. Olayinka Ogunbade said they only accept one luggage bag instead of two. Okay, you're talking about Delta Airlines. That Delta currently only accepts one luggage bag instead of two. Are you sure? Okay, I think this is what is happening. I think I've seen this with even some of my Ghanaian followers mention this with regard to like when they book Delta, they say there's only one luggage. I believe many airlines are doing this now. What they're doing is they're actually providing light fare options, right? So typically, all airlines will say, okay, if you're flying economy, you're entitled to two suitcases. But I think people are complaining that, okay, what if I only have one suitcase? Why do I have to pay the same as those people who have two suitcases, like two check-in suitcases? I think so. There's an option for you to pick a more expensive fare that, so by maybe I think naturally people just pick the cheapest and think as standard that you're entitled to two suitcases. But many airlines are giving that light fare option now that you can actually just, you know, book a fare that only entitles you to one suitcase. So I think that's what's happening. Because I'm sure if you check on their site, they probably have economy fares that are two suitcases. But I think people are just not aware of it. So they're clicking the cheapest, thinking it's like the past whereby it's standard to have two suitcases. I think that's the issue there. Olu Johnson said, great doing, Sassy. Thank you so much. Dorpat said, Buenos noches, good night. I knew it. Buenas noches is good night in Spanish. I know a little bit of Spanish too. Yes. Michelle said, Delta also allows one luggage in certain classes, although I think other airlines like United and Lufthansa allow for two. I think it's the same thing. Even Lufthansa and these other airlines, they have light fare options. Even BA has it too, whereby if you book that fare, that economy fare, you would only be allowed one check-in suitcase in economy. Olayinka said, thank you so much for all you do. No, thank you for being a part of this. God bless you. God bless you guys too. Yeah, Chico DK said luggage checks used to be complimentary back in the day. Times have changed. Everybody is trying to make money. Caramel just said, wow, I'm happy to be a part of this live today. Caramel, I'm happy that you took time out of your day, like everybody here that came on here to be a part of this live. I really, really appreciate it. Means a lot to me. Olayinka said, please do this more often. I've been following you since 2020. You know what? I will do it more often. I think I have a level of people think I'm shy. Are you shy? A little bit. But you know what? I actually love engaging with you guys. So I promise, you can hold on to my word here that I would aim to do this at least once, if not twice every month. I'll be doing this lives, definitely. So, but thank you for following me, for being a loyal, sassy fam tribe. Like, I love it. Thank you so much. With that said, actually, there was one question you guys asked me on many. Someone said, I'm leaving it to the end. Someone said, Funke, are you taken? WZJ said underscore since symptom. Said, are you taken? Guys, I am taken by flights, destinations, by Jesus. I'm taken. I'm sure you won't like that answer, but that is the truth. But with that said, I am going to end this live now. I want to thank you guys, everyone that tuned in. Thank you so much for being a part of this live. I hope, as I said, hope to do this more regularly. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for Danny J left a comment. I'm not going to comment on your comments because maybe on the podcasts we'll dive into that a little bit more. Hence, if you get what I mean. But honestly, thank you guys so much for being a part of this. It's been incredible. I've really enjoyed it. And please make sure you're connected to me on Instagram, where I share content like every single day. If you're not following me, make sure you follow me on my platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, make sure you follow me on there because that's, where I live, Instagram. Yeah, thank you so much again, guys. And I will see you on the next live session, which will be hopefully maybe 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks. Yeah. Honestly, thank you so much, guys. Much love. And I'll see you in the next live. Bye, everyone. Bye. Ciao. Bye. If I'm trying to end my live stream, it's like, I don't think it wants me to end.